Alright, what's up people? Welcome back. Look, relationships are complicated, right? We've all been there. You're trying to figure out who's dating who's mad at who left their charger at whose apartment. It's a mess. We usually think of love as a straight line from me to you. Simple. But what if it's not? What if instead of a line, love is a shape? Like a really complicated shape. Today, we're diving deep into the world of polyamory. But we're not just talking feelings, we're going to break down the complex dynamics of non-monogamous relationships using shapes. Think of it like your high school math class, but way more interesting and with significantly more drama. So, let's set the stage. Our foundational shape is the decagon, a 10-sided figure. Why a decagon? Because it's complex. It has a lot of angles, a lot of points, just like modern relationships. Now, here's the twist. We're going to introduce a concept I'm calling the ikot, which is Tagalog for rotation or spin. With every single of this decagon, we're adding a new layer, a new dimension, a new set of partners into the mix. Each rotation reveals a completely different type of relationship dynamic, a new geometric configuration of love, trust, and scheduling nightmares. We're going to explore what these relationship shapes look like, from simple triangles to mind-bending multi-sided polygons. We're taking the abstract concept of polyamory and making it visual, tangible. By the end of this, you'll be looking at your own relationships and wondering, wait, am I in a rhombus? Is this a trapezoid situation? So grab your protractors, because we're about to map out the beautiful, chaotic, and mathematically fascinating geometry of polyamory. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with our first, one single rotation of our decagon. What does that give us? Boom, a circle. But this isn't just any circle. This represents 100 partners. Yeah, you heard me, 100, all connected in a single continuous circular dynamic. This is the Circle Joas model. Think of it as a massive all-inclusive group chat where everyone is dating everyone. There are no corners, no sharp angles, just one smooth, unbroken line of connection. Every single person in this 100-person network is equidistant from the center and theoretically equally connected to everyone else. It's the ultimate expression of communal love. Now, logistically, this is wild. Imagine the scheduling. Hey babe, you free Friday? Sorry, I'm with Kevin. Which Kevin? Kevin number 73. It's a logistical Rubik's Cube. But the beauty of the circle is its inherent equality. No one is a primary or secondary partner. Everyone is just a partner. It's a perfectly balanced, albeit massive ecosystem of affection. Each person is a point on the circumference, and the relationship is the circle that connects them all. It's less of a relationship and more of a relationship. One spin, 100 people, one big, complicated, beautiful circle. Alright, let's give our decagon another spin. Number 2. Now things get angular. 2 rotations give us 20 partners. The connections are no longer a simple, all-encompassing circle. Instead, we start seeing the formation of triangles, specifically isosceles, or right triangles. This is the Pythagorean theorem Joa stage. Why? Because the relationships are now defined by their sides and angles. In an isosceles triangle dynamic, you might have one person, the vertex, who has 2 partners that are not connected to each other, but are connected to the vertex. A squared plus b squared does not equal c squared here. The 2 base partners share a common connection, but maintain their own separate lives. But then you have the right triangle dynamic. This is where things get interesting. You have 3 people, and the relationship between 2 of them, the hypotenuse, is the longest, strongest, maybe the primary connection. The other 2 connections, the legs of the triangle, are shorter, maybe secondary relationships. It's a classic V-shape, but with a clear hierarchy defined by the length or intensity of the relational bond. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. The sum of the 2 smaller relationships equals the big one. It's a mathematical model for emotional investment. We've gone from a commune to a series of interconnected three-person pods. Let's keep this thing spinning. Number 3. Now we're at 30 partners, and the geometry gets a little more classic. This is the domain of the love triangle Jowas. We're not just talking about any triangles anymore. We're talking about the equilateral, the scandalous, the one you see in every telenovela. 3 rotations bring the focus to the most foundational and often most volatile multi-person relationship structure. Here, you have 3 individuals, and the connections between all of them are, ideally, equal. A is dating B, B is dating C, and C is dating A. It's a closed loop of 3. This is the thruple. Unlike the V shape from our last chapter, where one person connects 2 others, here, everyone is interconnected. The stability of this shape depends on all 3 sides remaining equal in length and strength. If one connection weakens, the whole triangle becomes unstable. It might warp into an isosceles triangle, or one side might break entirely. It's a delicate, high-stakes balancing act. With 30 partners in the mix, you could have 10 of these thruples operating independently, or a more complex web where one person is a part of multiple different triangles. 3 spins, 30 people, and a whole lot of potential for drama or deep, multifaceted connection. Alright, let's push it. Number 4. We've spun this decagon 4 times, and now we're dealing with 40 partners. We've graduated from triangles and moved on to quadrilaterals. Welcome to the world of quadrilateral Jowas. 4 points, 4 sides. This is where things get really diverse. Your relationship can be a square, a rhombus, a rectangle, or a kite. Each shape represents a completely different dynamic. Let's start with the square. 4 people, all dating each other, all with equal strength relationships. It's the thruple plus 1, a quad. It's stable, balanced, and requires an insane amount of communication. But what if the relationships aren't all equal? Then you might have a rectangle. Maybe you have 2 couples and they're good friends, and then they decide to date crosswise. So person A and B are a primary couple, C and D are a primary couple, but A is also dating C, and B is also dating D. The primary relationships, the long sides, are stronger, while the secondary connections, the short sides, are different. Or maybe it's a rhombus, where all the relationship connections are equal in length, but the angles are different, meaning the dynamics between pairs vary. 4 rotations, 40 people, and a whole new set of geometric possibilities for love. Halfway there. Number 5. 5 spins, 50 partners. We are now officially in the territory of complex polygons. Say hello to the pentagon and trapezoid Jowas. With 5 points of connection, the pentagon represents a highly interconnected network. Think of a group of 5 people where everyone is connected to at least 2 other people in the group, creating a star shape within the pentagon. This is a relationship web. Person A might be dating B and E, while B is dating A and C, and so on. It's a structure built on multiple, overlapping connections, requiring a sophisticated level of emotional intelligence and a shared Google Calendar. But then you have the trapezoid. This is a quadrilateral, sure, but I group it here because it represents a very specific kind of hierarchical or specialized structure you see in larger groups. In a trapezoid dynamic, you have one parallel set of relationships, maybe 2 people who are primary partners. And then the other 2 legs of the relationship are non-parallel, representing connections that are fundamentally different in nature. Maybe it's a quad, where 2 of the people are only romantically involved with one person each, while the other 2 have multiple connections within the group. It's asymmetrical. 5 spins, 50 people, and the shapes start getting weird and wonderfully specific. We are turning it up. Number 6. 6 rotations of the decagon, and we have 60 partners on the board. We have now entered the realm of the hexagon Jowas. 6 points, 6 sides. The hexagon is nature's favorite shape for a reason. It's efficient, stable, and strong. Think of a honeycomb. In a relationship context, A hexagon can represent a very stable and structured network of 6 individuals. Each person in the hexagon is connected to their 2 immediate neighbors, forming a closed, resilient loop. There's no single person at the center. The strength comes from the interconnectedness of the whole. This isn't necessarily a everyone dates everyone situation like a full quad or pentagram. It could be 3 couples who are all deeply emotionally connected and committed to supporting each other's relationships. The structure is what matters. Person A and B are a couple, C and D are a couple, E and F are a couple, but A is also best friends and support partners with F, and B is with C, and so on, forming a perfect hexagonal support system. It's a community-focused model of polyamory, where the group's stability is paramount. 6 spins, 60 people. Building love like bees build a hive. Okay, let's get weird. Number 7. 7 spins, 70 partners. So, we are now dealing with a 7-sided figure, the heptagon. Welcome to heptagon Jawas. 7 is a prime number, and that actually makes the geometry a little funky. Unlike a hexagon, you can't really tile a plane with regular heptagons. They just don't fit together neatly. And honestly, that's the perfect metaphor for this relationship dynamic. It's a structure that by its very nature is a little bit awkward. It doesn't tessellate. It's unique, it stands on its own, and it can be pretty difficult to integrate into a larger social network. A heptagonal relationship of 7 people might be a very internally focused group, a polycule that is so complex and intertwined within itself that it has a hard time connecting with the outside world. The internal dynamics are like a labyrinth of connections. Maybe it involves a central person connected to the other 6, or maybe it's a chain of connections that loops back on itself. The odd number of vertices means the relationship dynamics can feel slightly unbalanced, always shifting. It requires constant negotiation and adjustment to maintain its shape. 7 spins, 70 people, and relationships that just refuse to fit into a neat box. We're in the home stretch. Number 8. 8 spins, 80 partners. We've reached the octagon Jawas, an 8-sided figure. Think of a stop sign. And that's exactly what an octagonal relationship can be. A signal to stop and carefully consider all the intersecting paths. With 8 people, the potential for complexity is massive. An octagon can represent a large, highly organized polycule. You might have 2 quads that have merged, sharing 1 or 2 members, creating a larger 8-person structure. It's a relationship mega-merger. The octagon is a very stable, powerful shape. It feels solid, balanced. In a relationship dynamic, this could represent a mature, well-established polycule with clear rules, boundaries, and methods of communication. Think of it as the board of directors for a love-based corporation. There are multiple stakeholders, diverse interests, but a shared goal of keeping the entire structure sound. Each of the 8 sides represents a strong dyadic bond, and the 8 vertices represent the individuals holding it all together. 8 spins, 80 people, building a relationship structure with the authority of a stop sign. So close to the end. Number 9. 9 spins, 90 partners. We're at the nonagon Jawas, a 9-sided figure. This is getting incredibly complex. A nonagon is so close to being a circle, yet it's not. It still has distinct sides and corners. This represents a large-scale relationship network that is almost a self-contained community, but still maintains some level of internal structure and hierarchy. It's not the free-for-all of the circle Jawas, but it's approaching that level of total integration. 9 is 3 threes, so a nonagon could represent 3 interconnected thruples, forming a supergroup. The internal geometry of a 9-person relationship is a mind-bender. Drawing all the possible connections creates a dense, almost impenetrable web. Managing this requires next-level emotional and organizational skills. This is the polyamory final boss level. The nonagon represents a system so intricate that it's almost organic, like a living organism. Its health depends on the health of every single one of its 9 vertices and the connections between them. It's a testament to the human capacity for connection. A sprawling, intricate network of love and commitment. 9 spins, 90 people, a shape on the verge of becoming a circle. We made it. The final spin. Number 10. 10 rotations, 100 partners. We have come full circle, but we haven't. We've arrived at the Decagon Jowas. This is the ultimate formula. A 10-sided figure representing the pinnacle of structured, large-scale polyamory. With 10 rotations, we have 100 partners, and they form decagons. It's the perfect synthesis of the circle and the polygon. It has the scale of our initial circle Jawas, but it retains the defined structure of the shapes that came after. It has sides, it has angles, it has defined connections. The decagon represents a perfectly balanced, large-scale community. 10 is a great number. It's divisible by 2 and 5. You could have 5 couples. You could have 2 pentagons. The structural possibilities are vast and elegant. This is the polyamorous ideal, the grand unified theory of Jowas, a network of 100 people organized into beautiful, stable, 10-sided structures of love. It's a system where the individual, the dyad, the triad, the quad, and the larger community can all coexist in geometric harmony. 10 spins, 100 people, the perfect shape of love. So, there you have it. 10 rotations, 10 shapes, 100 partners. We've journeyed from the all-encompassing circle to the sharp angles of a triangle, through the balanced stability of squares and hexagons, all the way to the complex, near-circular structure of the decagon. Each of our geometric journey revealed a new way of looking at relationships. We saw how a simple change in the number of partners can fundamentally alter the shape, the stability, and the dynamics of a polyamorous network. Love isn't just a straight line. It can be a triangle, a hexagon, or a sprawling 100-person decagon. This was, of course, a metaphor, a thought experiment, but it's a powerful one. By visualizing relationships as geometric shapes, we can start to appreciate their complexity and diversity in a new way. Whether it's the perfect balance of a square quad or the awkward, unique beauty of a heptagon, each structure has its own logic, its own challenges, and its own potential for connection. It reminds us that there is no single right way to love or build a relationship. The possibilities are as varied and as infinite as the world of geometry itself. So take a moment to think about the connections in your own life. What shape do they form? Is it a simple line? A stable triangle? A complex, multi-sided polygon? Understanding the geometry of your relationships won't solve all your problems, but it might give you a new language to talk about them. It encourages us to look beyond the binary of single or coupled and see the beautiful, intricate, and sometimes messy shapes that human connection can create. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.